Okay. Good evening once again. Good evening, everyone. Good evening to our panelists, our beautiful audience as ever. Thank you once again for joining us. Um, this is another wonderful episode of the C-Suite Corner with MJ. And in just a minute, I'm just going to be starting. Um, so once again, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you're joining us from. I'm truly excited to welcome each and every one of you to the March episode of C-Suite Corner with MJ. A little bit about us before we start. This is normally our tradition. I like to tell us a little bit of what C-Suite Corner with MJ is all about. So once again, welcome to our vibrant platform, which aims to explore the most crucial topics at the intersection of technology and business. Our monthly episode delves into cutting-edge innovation and leadership strategies, and our focus really is on artificial intelligence, data management, and cybersecurity. Our ultimate objective is to equip you, our audience, with the valuable insight, practical experience, and expert perspective, really, that will aid you in navigating the ever-evolving technology landscape of AI, data science, and cybersecurity. And our aim really is to provide you with that practical insight, and you can make informed decision at the end of the day, and also help you along the way to your learning and then to your growth. That's the whole essence of why we are here. So this month's episode is actually um, in honor of the International Women's Day 2025. And we all know that the International Women's Day theme is Accelerate Action. And that's why we thought it important that we should also follow suit and see how C-Suite Corner is also going to accelerate action by bringing these wonderful, amazing, intelligent women to the core. And then they're going to be dissecting this topic for us: accelerate action, fast tracking women's role in AI-powered future. And that's what we'll be discussing today. But before we go on, a quick introduction about me. My name is Olajumoke Toriola. I'm the CTO of Hashem Limited, and then I'm fondly called MJ, and I like to leave a disclaimer as always. I am not Michael Jackson. I don't know how to dance, but then if you try to ask me to do something else other than dancing, yes, I can do that. So if you ask me to dance, you are in for a disappointment. So I have over 2 decades of experience in the IT industry. And then I'm also a Microsoft certified trainer, a Microsoft Most Valuable Professional. And then also I've been accepted into the Regional Director program, and I'm a co-founder of Textile, also a community that is focused on bringing more women into tech. Now, to meet our panelists who are going to be doing justice to a lot of what we're going to be discussing today, the first person we're going to be introducing is Olaide Akisoya. Olaide Akisoya holds the position of the Executive Director and Chief Operations Officer at Hashem Limited. With a distinguished career extending over 29 years, she actually possesses extensive expertise in various domains of information technology. This includes business development, strategic planning, project management, sales, and marketing. She's renowned for her exceptional leadership capabilities and her proficiency in driving operational excellence, thereby ensuring the sustained success of Action Limited in an industry characterized by rapid change. Our dedication to innovation and customer satisfaction has been instrumental in the company's growth and prosperity. I want to welcome you once again. Thank you, Ma, for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us on this episode of C-Suite Corner with MJ.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Moving on, our next powerful woman in the house is no other person than FOB, Foyin Olajide Bello. Foyin Olajide Bello is a seasoned technology leader with deep expertise in Microsoft AI, the Power Platform, and the modern workplace solution. In her recent role as a director in the Microsoft practice in Deloitte, she helps organizations harness AI-driven innovation to enhance productivity and automation. She's one person that is very, very passionate about simplifying complex technology decisions, Foyin empowers business to strategically adapt AI agents and Microsoft's ecosystem to drive tangible business outcome. Foyin is passionate about women in tech empowerment, and then she demonstrates this by speaking at events and conferences and mentoring other women. She's also the co-founder of Techstyler, a community that is positioned to support women in tech, and a member of other women communities like Connecting Women in Tech, Ireland, and Women in AI. Thank you for joining me, and then on this episode of C-Suite Corner with MJ. And moving on, I do not know how I'm going to deal with this, because when you see this person, she's a box of many talents, box of many skills, and at the same time, her profile is very rich. I would like to welcome Tinuade Oguntuyi, who is the General Manager, Technical of Information Connectivity Solution Limited. Tinuade Oguntuyi is a technology leader with over 14 years of experience in various fields, including telecommunications, IP network, and customer service. She holds a BC in computer science from Olabisi Onabanjo University, an MBA in telecoms from the UK, and MBA in business information from Tekedia Institute in Boston. Currently, she is the General Manager of Technical Operations at Information Connectivity Solution Limited, a Nigerian leading ISP. She drives future work strategy and diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. She specializes in machine-to-machine communication, satellite, GSM, backhauling, and secure WAN connectivity. She has successfully completed over 30 major infrastructure projects over 12 sectors, including government and education, with a focus of renewable energy in rural areas. She co-chaired the infrastructure access and connectivity working group for the Internet Society Nigerian chapter, and she's a fellow of the Nigerian School of Internet Governance. She is a strong advocate for STEM inclusion, a co-founder of Tinuade Tech Foundation, and she serves on the advisory board of the Women Technology Empowerment Center. I'm very happy to have you on this episode of C-Suite Corner with MJ. Thank you, Tinuade. I know how very busy you are, but taking out time, I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, madam.
Yeah, thank you. And to this wonderful woman in the house, she's a sister, she's a friend. Oluwaremi Lekolowu, she's a very dear person to us. She has been on this show before, and then she's coming back again because of our passion of always giving to the community. As a way of introduction, Oluwaremi Lekolowu is a business and channel development manager with over 14 years of experience in sales, management, customer service, and marketing across the Middle East and Africa. She currently manages the Microsoft partner ecosystem in Nigeria and Ghana, focusing on helping businesses increase revenue and expand into new markets while aligning with Microsoft's mission to empower people and organizations. Prior to Microsoft, she worked as a business development manager and a telemarketing and pre-sales with Integra Solution and Aptech, driving customer acquisition and retention. Oluwaremi Lekun holds a BC in Applied Zoology from Olabisi Onabanjo University, as well as professional certification in Microsoft Security, Azure, Dynamics 365 Customer Engagement, and even Cisco Networking. She's happily married and has 2 sons. I'm always happy to have you on my call. Thank you once again for taking out time to join us. And then thank you. I cannot say thank you enough to you, Oluwaremi Lekun. So moving on, our housekeeping rule. This session will actually be recorded and will be made available for future viewing. So I'm going to, indulge you, crave your indulgence as our audience to please pen down your question until the Q&A session. Kindly indicate with the raise hand feature if you want to speak so we can unmute your microphone. Also, follow us on our LinkedIn, social media we have, and then also on the YouTube channel. Please subscribe to it, and then also ensure you enable the notification so they can get you can keep up to date on all of our events. And then on the X, please follow us at C-Suite Corner. Now, discussing the topic of today, accelerate action, fast tracking women's role in AI-powered future. We all know that the technological landscape is evolving and the integration of artificial intelligence is actually reshaping industry and redefining opportunities for everyone. As we stand on the brink of this AI-powered future, it is also crucial for us to recognize and amplify the voices and contribution of women in this transformative field. So this is why this month we are actually having a look at this topic, accelerate action, fast-tracking women's role in the AI-powered future. And what this topic does is going to encapsulate the urgent need to foster gender equality in the technology and innovation space. By prioritizing women's participation and leadership in AI, we can create a more inclusive, a more diverse and innovative environment that benefits everyone. And this theme today, which our great panelists are going to do justice to, is actually to challenge every one of us to take proactive steps in ensuring that women are not only involved, but are also empowered to lead in shaping the future of AI, thereby enhancing both the technology itself and its impact on the society. So once again, I want to thank you all for joining, and then we will start off by going straight into the questions for the day. Now, I want to start with the theme for the International Women's Day celebration, which is accelerate action. And when it comes to mind, I'm going to throw this question to all of our panelists. Could you briefly share your thoughts, starting with you, Malaide? Could you briefly share your thoughts on this theme, what accelerate action means to you, and what is the significance of International Women's Day celebration? I would like to hear your thoughts on it.
Okay. Good day once again, everyone, and thank you, Olajumoke. To me, the theme accelerate action. It's a powerful call to move beyond conversations and take decisive, impactful steps towards gender equity. This means breaking down system barriers, fostering inclusive innovations, and ensuring that women have equal opportunity to lead and shape the technological landscape. We can no longer afford to wait for change to happen. Gradually, action must be intentional and strategic and urgent. Whether it's closing the gender gap, addressing biases in algorithms, or even investing in women's upskilling. Accelerate action emphasizes that the progress requires speed and commitment from businesses, governments, and society. For me, the IWD is a global platform to celebrate women's achievements while recognizing the challenges that still exist in achieving full gender equality. It serves as a reminder that gender equity is not just a women's issue, but also a societal and economic imperative. The day highlights the importance of advancing women's leadership, economic empowerment, and also technological inclusion. IWD is a chance to amplify women's contributions, push for ethical and inclusive development, and ensure that the future is built by diverse voices. The theme accelerates action reinforces that progress is possible, but only if we commit to both sustained efforts today. Thank you.
I love that. I love the fact that that particular statement that says if we're committed to making that change, progress is possible and we can actually make. I like the fact that it is all about amplifying the voice. Thank you so much, Ma, for touching on that. So I'll be moving on next. Like I said, randomly, I will be calling on Foyin. Please let me have your thoughts. What do you think about the International Women's Day? What's the significance to you?
I get very excited every year. Thank you, MG, when we get to this time of the year. Because not only does the International Women's Day help us remember the women who have done amazing things in past generation, but also those that are still in our generation, breaking the barriers and doing amazing things as well. Then not just the celebrations, but also now coming to the fact that there is the upcoming generation of women that would like to see people that are taking place of who they want to be when they grow up, right? So I'm looking
Mhm.
at celebration of International Women's Day. I'm able to see female leaders in different aspects of the world, in different industries, doing amazing things. That gives me a sense that when I grow up, I can also become like this person. So I'm always excited when I see people like Madam Laide as well with 30 plus years experience leading. We can know that, yes, we can also become like her in a couple of years' time. So that International Women's Day brings to life all of these women who are doing great things and also helps us to remember the women who have gone as well, who did amazing things in past generations. As I was looking at my phone today, I saw a post about Dr. Ngozi. Some of us may have forgotten how who was the one that stemmed the outbreak of Ebola. She lost
Mm.
her life by taking that decision, but because of the action that she did, a lot of lives were preserved. So that's highlighting the accelerate action part of it, where was saying not only is it important to talk about how fantastic it is to have gender equity and all of this, but it's also important for us to have tangible actions about it in order to accelerate this gap that we see now in our time and age. I know that we've made a lot of progress, and that has also been said in a couple of events that I've been to during this period, but there's still a lot of work to be done, which is why the accelerate action comes into play. Yes, we've been talking about it, but let's see what exactly can we start doing now in order to bridge that gap more and more. Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much. I like the fact, I mean, and blessed memory. We honor the memory of Mrs. Ngozi. She actually did a lot. I mean, sacrificed a lot. And also C-Suite Corner with MJ shared that memory also with her family. And thank you for bringing it up, for you. And more importantly, I like the perspective you brought into it, the fact that it is not about just talking about the I mean the gender equality and all of that, but also appreciating and seeing those sacrifices and then of those that have gone before us to also encourage us to say, oh, if they can do it, I can also do it. Thank you so much. Moving on right now, we'll be calling on Oluwaremilekun. I want to hear your perspective. And I, as one who is really, 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 and works in an organization that is top on diversity and inclusion, I want to hear your thoughts on it, Remy.
Yeah, and thanks, Olajumoke, and good evening once again to everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you joined us from. Um, so you mentioned working with an organization that is very, very, very big on, and then if you go on our website, that's on the Microsoft website, you keep seeing them publishing our reports, right? The progress report that has been made on a yearly basis. But for me personally, I would, and I was looking at the IWD website at some point, and if you look at the theme for this year, which is Accelerate Action, and the actions that are meant to be taken. I mean, fine, it's good for us. We've had all of this gender equality. We have different forums where it's been spoken about. And then you keep seeing organizations even bringing out policies, right? But I think enough of policies, enough of agendas, enough of, but then let's go to work. I can come up with rules, I can come up with systems, right? But if there is no action backing up those reports, if there are no actions backing up those agenda, those things I've said I want to do, then it's more or less futile for me, right? So I mean, I see it as, I mean, relating it to the world agenda, right? Where you see them talking about feeding, ensuring that nobody goes hungry, denying what's it called, sustainable growth, I mean SDGs, right?
Development goals,
But
yeah.
thank you very much. The sustainable development goals. But this year, in terms of accelerating action, is how do we accelerate those actions involving women? I mean, so if I want to end hunger, how do I end hunger with a woman? How, if I want to end poverty, how do I educate a woman such that that particular sustainable development goal, right, is achieved, not without a woman, but with a woman involvement. If you're empowering a woman, involving a woman in every of those agendas and in every of those goals, right, you are able to accelerate your action faster in any case. For me, what stood out for me this year is enough of the talks. And this is personally. I'm not talking to anything I've read online, but personally, I think it's enough for us to talk about the agendas, but then going into real action and ensuring that these women are empowered, all right, and they are bringing about those results, right, that we have those agendas put together for.
Absolutely fantastic. Yes, I completely agree with you. Let's stop the talk and do the doing, the action, really. Let's do the talk, really. Thank you so much. And then I'll be calling on my wonderful sister in the house, Tina Day. Please let me hear your thoughts on what International Women's Day is all about to
Okay, thank
you.
you so much for having me. Thank you, everyone, from anywhere you're joining from. I think for me, accelerate action, we start with giving equal opportunities to everyone, regardless. Be you a woman, a man, an underdog, as we call people that are from diverse backgrounds, especially now women. I used to feel that we are triple marginalized sometimes if we don't really see where we are coming from. Maybe you are a woman, then somebody will tell you you're Black, and another person will tell you maybe your parents don't have a particular class. So for me, is giving equal opportunities regardless of where you're from. Another one for me, especially as it relates to Accelerate Now, is we grow into a future where there are no women leaders any longer. Will we all just be called leaders?
Mm,
That
mm,
is the
mm,
future for me. Because the more we still have women leaders, it shows that there is still a divide. Now we're
mm,
trying to create a niche where we now say, oh, some women are doing better or they are leaders. Why can't we just have leaders? Leaders
mm,
in technology, leaders in science, leaders in engineering. Do you understand? So no longer, the World Economic Forum have brought about this over 100 years for us to get to gender equality. And somebody was analyzing that that's another 5 generations to come.
mm,
So
mm,
that means even all of this work we are doing, people have done before us, and some will still do, is looking like not even in our generation are we going to realize, and that is the need to accelerate the action. And how do we? That means everyone in their own corner begins to do what they can do, and we come together. I mean, collaboratively, to come like a collaborative force to say, oh, I'm working on stopping digital divide, or you are working on ending trafficking, you're working on poverty being eradicated. How do we all come together that when a woman is eventually economically empowered, they now begin to come into that place and step from representation to influence, and then we are able to equate everything eventually. Somebody said poverty is not lack of money, it is lack of choices. Are we able to accelerate this action so that we have that equity eventually? That's my perspective. Thank you.
Lovely, lovely. I like your perspective on this, and it's very, very strong. It's a very strong message that we're sending across, and I like the angle you're coming from. Thank you so much, Tinuade, for sharing your thoughts on this. And so moving on, my next question is actually to you, Manlaide, and I'm coming from a leadership and a personal journey perspective, really. So my question to you is, as a woman at the helm of one of Nigeria's cutting-edge IT firm, what would you describe as your unique perspective on innovation? And how have you, through your personal and professional experience as a woman in the tech industry, how has innovation really, your perspective on innovation shaped your approach to driving and integrating innovative AI applications into your IT transformation strategies? I want to hear your thoughts, and because I want to know what your personal and professional experience as a woman in tech has done around your approach to innovation, how you've integrated it into IT transformation strategies, especially for your own organization. Your thoughts, Ma?
Okay, thank you, Olajumoke. And as a woman, in tech, what I would say is my perspective on innovation is deeply rooted in inclusivity, adaptability, and impact-driven solutions. So to me, innovation is not just about technological advancement. It's also about creating solutions that addresses real world challenges. A couple of my members on the call already mentioned some of the challenges that are faced in the world already, and then how do you address such challenges? And one of the biggest lessons I've learned is that innovation thrives on diversity, really. I know that women will bring unique solving approaches and empathy and a collaborative mindset that enhances AI's ability to serve diverse communities effectively. My personal and professional experience in the tech industry have taught me resilience, adaptability, and the importance of challenging the status quo. We know it has never been easy, leading a firm like this. And what we have done as an organization, my firm is actively working on partnering with secondary schools, universities, and organizations to promote AI education for women and to also foster the next generation of female leaders in IT. We also, AI, I see is that AI should not perpetuate bias or exclude marginalized communities. And my approach, is that when we are developing any application, we need to ensure that it is ethically tested and it prevents gender and racial biases. We would ensuring that our solution reflects the needs of all users, not just a selected few. To me, innovation should drive economic empowerment. That should be the focus. And being a woman in tech industry, this has shaped my leadership philosophy, because it has helped me to realize that innovation must be inclusive, ethical, and impactful. If it is not impactful, you have not done anything. And we must accelerate action based on what, this IWD theme to ensure that women are at the forefront of shaping it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So, I love the fact that innovation has to be impactful. It doesn't just have to just be something that is only technological driven alone, but it has to be impactful. Thank you so much for that, Ma. I mean, I appreciate your perspective on that question. And my next question is to Remy. And for you, Remy, last year, I just want to give a little bit of background to this, and I gave that same background in my February edition of C-Suite. And last year, around the Christmas break, Satya Nadella did something, and then what he did was, as a Microsoft CEO, he unveiled a both yet is a controversial vision for the future of business application in an AI-driven world. What he said is that he suggested that the era of software as a service, that is SaaS, as we all know, is nearing its end. And then one of the things he said is that we're going to be transitioning toward integrated platforms such as where AI will actually take the center stage. And that shift is actually to a new generation of what we call today AI agents or agentic AI. So I'm going to ask you, as someone who is coming from um, that background or that work closely with the big drivers of AI in the industry, what exactly are agentic AI and how do they differ from the traditional AI models that every one of us are quite very, that is quite very known to a lot of us?
Thank you, Jumoke. And I would answer that question, if you don't mind, in a very different light. So I will say today I will assume I'm explaining this to my 6-year-old son. Okay, yeah. I mean the traditional AI we all know. I mean everybody know AI, artificial intelligence. Every AI is going to take care of everything. Before we know it, AI will take jobs that don't exist will exist because of AI. But agentic AI, if you ask me, our traditional AI solutions today would require us giving instructions to whatever applications. We'll definitely feed them with data, right, to get the kind of output that we want. We'll use a number of traditional AI tools for, build bots, build this, build that. All right, we give them instructions and then they come back with an output, but they are very regimented. But in the case of an agentic AI, I would, if I'm saying this to my 6-year-old son, I would say, imagine you have a robot, a very super smart robot, and then you want to build a tower, right? And then you just instruct or you tell the robots to build you a tower. You have your building blocks, your Lego building blocks, all right? And then it goes ahead to do that. And even puts in some stuff you as a person wouldn't have even thought of. Okay. Looks for the best way for you to get the tower built with those building blocks. Looks for the best building blocks. The building blocks are in different shapes and sizes. But then looks for the right building blocks that would help you achieve that tall tower at a very short period of time, using his own innovation, his own initiative. It's against me telling a traditional AI tool today to say, can you please build this tower for me using the red blocks and then the blue? Can it have small window? But the agentic AI, as intelligent as it is, right? Is so extensive, and then it helps you, drives on his own initiatives. There might be mistakes, there might be biases, right? Because again, if I don't tell you I'm Black, I live in Nigeria, or I live in Lagos, and then you assume that I live in Dubai, where you have a lot of high-rise buildings, or I live in Toronto, where they usually would have very high-rise buildings, right? A tower for you might be 60, 50, I don't know. First Bank says they want to build a 40-story tower, right? So that's going to be the first, right, in Nigeria, and then maybe in Africa, we don't know. But the agentic AI, like I mentioned, is going to be autonomous, right? In its building, it's going to be autonomous in its actions, right? It's not like it's not going to involve human intelligence. It's going to involve human intelligence, but it's going to do stuff for us in ways that are much more easier, right? Without a lot of us, getting our hands dirty around it. And then you asked, what are and I think I've also mentioned during this very simple analogy of mine, what the differences between our traditional AI tools and then these agentic AI tools at some point, right? They will be autonomous, while our normal traditional AI solutions today has to be very systemic. They're very regimic in there. You say, go do this specific task, they will do it just the way I want them to do it. But the agentic AI will definitely have its own, innovation, right, involved into it. I also mentioned that we might have the danger of, mistakes. Because AI would obviously go to any length, right? Just like a robot would go to any length to say, okay, you said I should clean this room, or you said I should build you a tower. Okay, what if I build you, what if I build you a tower that gets to heaven? Right? So we don't get the world scattered. Yeah, but yeah, I'm sure there will be systems in place, right? Just to guide, obviously, to guide the models, right? And then to guide the way these solutions or these AI tools will be, be able to help us as human beings get better at what we do.
I love that. I love that. I love that analogy. Because the reason why I brought up this question once again is because there's been a lot of definition about agentic AI. There's been a lot of confusion around it. Oh, AI is known for automation. So what's different about agentic AI and all of that? And I think what I've gotten from you, that the significant that significant quality of intelligently taking action on its own, that is deciding on its own. And I like the fact that at the end of the day, you mentioned that even when it does this, it does not also exclude the part of the human intervention for us to be able to guide it, so that it doesn't take us to where we do not know. Thank you so much, Remy, for that. And then in terms of context and impact, I'll be going to Foyin now. I know for you've also done some things on AI agents. And then, so my question to you would be, what are the key technological advancements driving the rise, from your own perspective, that is driving the rise of AI agents in organization? Because based on what Remy have said, in fact, I can easily imagine the use of AI agents in a lot of in the use in organization across departments and all of that. But what do you see as that key technological advancement that is driving the rise of AI agents in organization? And more importantly, can you tell us how it will improve the operational efficiency and decision making in enterprises across different industries?
All right. Thank you so much, MJ. And I would say I really like Remy's analogy. I would certainly use that the next time somebody asks me this question. So in terms of advancements, right, we can see the natural language processing has really improved, because the agents are now able to understand and respond to human languages more effectively. So I use a simple example. If we remember when the Power Virtual Agent was initially released, it was very stiff in terms of when you had to be very specific on the triggers. If you are building your bot at that time and your trigger phrase isn't exactly what the person has said, it's just come back and say, well, I don't have an answer for you. And then you start saying, oh, how else can this person ask this question? Oh, how else can this person ask this question? I have to put all of the different ways that your users can ask a question into your trigger to ensure that when your business user is interacting with the bot and they ask something along those lines, the bot is able to come back with the answer. But with the whole advent of the AI agent, it has gone way beyond that now, because the level of intelligence that the agents demonstrates is unbelievable. They are able to understand exactly what it is that you want and where you're going to, because of the way it has been configured, the large language models that are sitting behind them, and also the knowledge base that it has access to. So it already knows. And the memory is also something that is key to it. So it remembers everything that it has done before. So it's not just the AI agents are not just taking initiative, like Remy has said to us. It's also then correcting itself as well. So when it's learning along the way. So if you tell it to automate a process and you say, well, I need you to ensure that whenever an email comes in from this asking me to attend the training, just go ahead, search for flights on my, just search for flights, book a hotel for me. You're not even telling it what to do. It kind of already knows that when you're going for a training, you need to get the flights, you need to get the bookings and all of that. So it's intelligently acting on your behalf. And then when it makes an error, it learns from it to say, oh, the last time I made a booking in this area, but a human had to come and correct me to say, no, our employees don't stay in that part of Dublin. It has to be in the city center because that's where the training venue is. It now learns that, oh, training venues should be, the hotel should be 5 kilometer radius of the training venue, between 1 and 5 kilometers. So it won't go ahead and look for something like 20 kilometers away from it. So it's also learning in the process. So that's another advancement of the AI agents. And then we can also see from the automations of our tasks. And there's a McKinsey example of AI agents that is public there, for anyone to see the video. It's just simply amazing. It's just kind of going through as the emails are coming in, taking all the data that is in the email, storing it into your dataverse table, and then just taking the next action on it all seamlessly. That would have been somebody actually opening an email, taking all of that information into Dataverse manually, and then triggering the notifications as well. But we can see that the agents are just churning and orchestrating the process as everything arrives. So that's was just amazing to see. And when there's an exception, oh, a partner has left the firm and I can't find this particular partner anymore because the name search isn't returning a value, it now says, okay, Teams message to someone to say, I have this issue, and the person just chats in the Microsoft Copilot box to say, oh, that's fine, just reassign to Olajumoke, and then the bot just goes off, reassigns, and continues the process from where it stops. It's just mind blowing, the depth of intelligence that the AI agents have in it. Those are some of the improvements, and it can only get better. Like a friend of mine will say, everything we see now is the worst version of the AI agents, of the co-pilots, of all of these automations that we're ever going to see, because there's continuous improvements on it, and we're all trying to catch up. So in terms of the impacts, just the process we've described already tells us that we would have improved efficiency in the workforce, because a lot of the things that we're doing that takes a ton on our time will be shipped off to the AI agents, and there will be improved decision making as well, because with the AI agents, a lot of data can come in a very simplified, real-time fashion, bringing all the insights, bringing all the history, bringing the predictions as well. So you're able to make decisions very, very quickly. And the customer experience is fantastic. Like Madam Lady has said, there's no point with all these innovations if it has zero impacts. So one of the things that the AI agents are going to do is going to improve that customer experience. And I don't know, like when we call customer care and it's saying, oh, press 1, press 2, press 3, it's so frustrating. So just imagine a world where every time you call customer care, it says, oh, hi, Foy. I know I remember that you sent an email to us yesterday, and this is where we are at that point of your requests. Is there any other thing that you want us to do about it? And you can say, oh, can you change this for me or make this update to it? And it does it immediately for you on the fly. So that's the kind of customer experience that we're going to get with these AI agents, where you're not starting from scratch again. You're not having to say the history of how you logged the ticket 1 week ago and nobody came back to you and you sent a reminder again. It just knows everything, knows you, knows your history, and then knows exactly why you have come and just spot on. So it's that type of enhanced customer experience that we will have as we start to bring these AI agents into our organizations. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I mean, that was a crash. I mean, as you're talking, I was imagining all the use cases. I mean, I was putting visual into everything. Thank you so much. That's really a crash course. Thank you for giving us that highlight. So moving on, I think my next question right now is to Tino Ade. And I know, Tino Ade, you are a very big player in the telecoms industry. And so one of the questions that comes to mind is, how is artificial intelligence transforming the telecommunications industry? And speaking to the fact that we're celebrating the International Women's Day, and this is the month for women, I will also want to know, what are the opportunities do you see AI creating for women that are trying to further their leadership career in that field of telecoms? What do you say about artificial intelligence or AI transforming the telecoms industry?
Yeah, thank you so much for that question. In fact, I've learned a lot from, I told you I was going to bring my pen. I brought it, but I've been taking my mental notes. Okay, so honestly, for telco is really a defining moment with AI, because whether we like, we are beginning to see telecoms move into technology company, because beyond just having infrastructure, having the connectivity, imagine telco just being that deep freezer that chills all the variety of drinks. People take the drinks and talk about the drinks, but they don't talk about the freezer that chilled it. Like that postal service that has all the post offices, knows the addresses of everybody, can drop all the letters, but still stagnant in revenue. So whether we like it or not, AI is definitely changing the narrative for us. And one of the examples that Foyi gave is now customer insight and being able to also tailor the needs of users by giving you heads on that, oh, this person, this is the pattern. Okay, prior to this time, to be honest, we've had some little of machine learning on our NMS, that's the network management system, where it's able to tell us, oh, this is not the usual traffic. If, for instance, this axis will normally have like 2 gig traffic, but now it's having 1 gig, at least it prompts you as somebody that is on the knock to say, oh, maybe we're having issues. It can't be this time of the day that we're having this less traffic. But even with AI now, we now have self-healing networks where we're able to quickly determine, is it like a layer 1 issue? Is it layer 2? By layer 1, we mean, could it be the cables? Do we have breaches? Do we have maybe disconnect or lose cables? If it's the data layer, do we have some man in the middle kind of attack? If it's, is able to now prompt us. In fact, we have something in Cisco that we call the Cisco DNA that is able to run like all of these metrics, and we have the Cisco Eyes. It's just trying to see all of these are AI built that are incorporated, of course, a lot of machine learning to be able to give you insight into behavioral patterns, either for the people sitting on this other side as a backend or the users. Another thing that AI is also doing in the telco, especially now, is to be able to, this hyper personalization thing we say. Now you have a lot of solutions tailored to, oh, I'm a woman with 3 boys, for instance, definitely I'll have needs for maybe YouTube videos for children, and he's able to tailor some of them. Oh, maybe I want them to do some things on Khan Academy. He's now able to also bring these ideas, pop it up for me based on my KYC that the technology company or telco company already knows. So we're able to now begin to tailor some of these needs, even without the customers asking us to say, you know what, you have need. So you would have heard some advert these days now that you have these router sticks that you can put, make your system smart. And those are some of the ways that AI is also coming embedded into our solutions to also drive change. Talking of the opportunities for women, I am a big fan on when you have a diverse team, you have a more robust team. You have a very rich team. Let me put it like that. Because everybody brings, I always joke about this. How is it possible that a technology company, for instance, made a tool to read human metrics, but they did not include the menstrual cycle? You and I can possibly not be on such team and not mention that first, because this is almost like a reality every month. So when you how do you tailor solutions, services when you don't even know the needs of the people? So you have people, and in diverse teams for me, while we are narrowing it to International Women's Day, Women's Month, diversity for me is a lot. You call some people underdogs, but the truth is that they have their needs. And when you don't have people like that in your team to bring their own voices to the table, to be involved and engaged, you will probably not be able to meet their needs. You will only do solutions that will cater for a particular set and will not meet the needs of those people. If you like it or not, informal sector till now drives a lot of business. So imagine you don't have a girl child coming from a woman maybe selling in the market. You don't even have an idea of where they dispatch some of their things, what time of the day they go, and how do you want to tailor the needs. So maybe in the morning, if you know Lagos very well, you know in the market, the Ugu sellers come there very early. Imagine you want to drive traffic as a telco person. That means you can actually do your peak period kind of advertisement that time. Because that average Ugu seller will see it and we quickly probably do some things on WhatsApp status. Those are a lot of ways I believe bringing in more women, and we'll be able to have a voice. You will be able to now see more advocacy. You know what happens now, why it looks like this, that our acceleration is not really accelerating so far, is because when you have so many men right there making the decision and they are not allies, they don't even know the needs. Some of us might be fortunate to have men as our leads or managers, and they are allies to women. But if the person is not, the first thing that comes to their mind when they think of hiring a woman, especially for core technical work, is, oh, emotional stability. Oh, she will soon go on maternity leave. Oh, because I had that kind of experience. Oh, she's to be promoted to a manager. Oh, she might likely go on another maternity leave, as if the maternity leave will not make me do what I'm supposed to do, or it will take my brain away. Do you understand? But, it takes another person that understands and say, oh, this does not matter. Does this person deliver? Is this person result oriented? Is this person able to drive our teams and get results? Do you understand? So I think the more we like in the office, they know me. That sentiment is a gone thing, because you have to get it right even from the recruitment stage. You are not putting words that is already suggestive, like a woman cannot do. When we left school, I had stopped wearing trousers. But when I got to where I was going to do IT, and I said I'll be going under the table, I'll be climbing indoor ladders, I told my dad, please, I need jeans. I need my canvas back because I want to be climbing these ladders. I want to go under the table to pass the cables. You understand what I'm saying? So it is all encompassing, and it is the way we say security by design now. All of these two should be by design. Begin to push it, and that's how I have to say for now. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Tinade. Thank you for your answer to that question. And then I would be moving on right now. And my next question is to Manlaide, and this is on organizational culture and change, really. And at first, I would like to say that thank you for your initial answer to your question, because I know that your organization actually is very, very top on women leadership. And I'll say that I'm also a proud product of that. Thank you. But I want to ask if a very quick question here about what adjustment to companies' future, or I mean to companies' culture or policies do you believe could enhance women's contribution to AI, or even AI-driven security innovation? Because if, I mean, coming from what they just said right now, she spoke about how AI is changing the industry. Foyin has spoken about that also. But there are some organizations today that, in terms of culture or policies, they haven't even see the need for them to adopt it, or talk less of even empowering or bringing women's contribution to it and all of that. So my question will be, what do you feel that organization should look at in terms of their cultural policies to enhance women contribution to AI and even AI-driven security innovation? What actions should be taken to support this initiative?
Okay. Thank you, Olajumoke. To me, I would say that, to maximize women's impact in AI and security-driven innovation, companies need to make deliberate cultural and policy shifts that foster inclusion, skill development, and leadership opportunities. Cybersecurity and AI, security and AI are rapidly evolving fields. And by ensuring that diverse perspective is crucial to building resilience, unbiased, and effective security system. I would say for culture and policy, organizations should adopt establishing targeted recruitment programs to bring more women into AI and cybersecurity roles or security roles in general. Two, to encourage cross-functional training, allowing women in other IT roles to transition into AI and cybersecurity-driven roles. AI and security often involve long hours and high pressure problem solving thinking. And for us in my firm, what we have done is adopting remote work policies, which has helped. It has helped to retain the top talent women because it gives them the flexibility required.
Mhm.
Four is, we need to encourage skill-based assessment rather than the traditional experiences, allowing women to break into AI or cybersecurity roles from adjacent fields. We have people who studied non-STEM related courses and are interested in learning IT. We should encourage such people, especially if they are being able to build the skills, for them to be able to function in that role. And also, as we know, AI and cybersecurity must account for diverse threats and vulnerabilities. And having women in these key roles would ensure a broader perspective. Like Ade said, there are certain things that women experience that man cannot explain, because they are not operating within the same form of frame. So we need this diverse perspective, for us to, for this to thrive. In my firm, like I mentioned earlier, partnering with secondary school, universities, NGOs, and industry bodies to create pipeline programs for women in AI and security roles. We support women, female-led AI and cybersecurity startups through funding and mentorship programs. For me, AI and cybersecurity-driven innovations truly, to be truly effective, ethical, and resilient, companies must create an environment where women thrive and succeed. That's
Thank
what I
you.
would say.
And that's the word, where we thrive and we succeed. That platform where we can actually be who we are, really, as God created us, and then knowing fully well that our gender is not a definition of our uniqueness or of our skills, and then where we can have that platform to actually thrive and succeed. Thank you so much, Ma, for that. And then I like the fact that there is a lot of policy you also mentioned that we should bring into all of this, starting from the recruitment stage, even to when giving up, opportunities for women that want to transition from their from their field to STEM related fields and all of that. Thank you so much for that. So I'm coming back to you, Tino Ade, again. And this question around is around the adapting. How do we adapt to this rapid technological change, really? Um, so my question is, what emerging trends in AI do you think we have the most significant impact on data, on data security, and how can women in tech prepare to take the lead in driving these changes?
I guess there'll be a lot. Adaptability. Maybe we should go back to Madam Olaide and ask, because for somebody to have stayed this long in the industry, I tell you, is a lot. Because every other time, I'll give a personal experience. When I started IT as intern, we had the BlackBerry enterprise servers, and we normally go to do LAN support. And those companies that had BlackBerry enterprise servers, they were the big boys. And
Yeah.
one day, everybody just woke up. Android has taken over. So my boss will always say that, is it that you disrupt or you are disrupted? Maybe to stay safe, before they disrupt you, you to start looking for who you want to disrupt. So I think staying on the A game is very important. But at the same time, to be honest, I wonder people don't get into this fear of missing out kind of, and you don't have a very good structure that can hold you together even when everything is happening. Because some people now, because it's AI, everybody just want to jump on something. AI will disrupt a lot of things. And we just heard from the two experts on agentic AIs, AI agents. If you don't mind, I use Lagos a lot because I live a lot in Lagos. When you want to get a house in Lagos, you will talk to people we call agents. You know why most times you employ them? Because you don't have that time to be going up and down. So you just tell them, I want duplex in Lekki, or you want it on the island. This is where I work. So then the agents start looking. Unfortunately, they come back with really funny houses sometimes. But at least you still trust them to give them this responsibility. So I believe AI agents will change a lot of things and that's just to be honest. There's this video I watched, and somebody had asked an AI agent to do something, and in making the inquiry, the AI agent is asking yet another AI agent that the other person that has the resources had already deployed. So it brings it completely to like a machine to machine kind of a world. But of course, humans, just like Madame Remy said the other time, we still have to play a part. And that's why we need to know where we stand in all of this and begin to upskill ourselves as much as necessary and important. So that it's not until that disruption happens and you are trying to find, was I standing in point A before this thing happened, or I'm in point B? Then somebody is just completely lost. In fact, even in telco and in connectivity business, I was mentioning about the self-healing networks and all that. You will see some solutions now, and you begin to wonder, is this what technology that I knew in this connectivity business used to be, or is this how it is going? Before now, we'll have auto failovers, and maybe if your primary link fails, the secondary link will take over in another 1 minute, 2 minutes. But now we have session failover. That means even when the links are down, the software-defined network is already taking it. So now imagine latching AI even onto all this. You are almost thinking that maybe before the incident happened, the AI is already telling you, oh, I spot that there is degradation in the speed. Maybe this is the duplex before, and this is the reliability of this link, and it's decreasing, and this is likely what is going to happen. This is what we have. And, it has taken all of this decision. So imagine maybe people that sit on the knock, for instance, what will be the work they have to do? Now they need to upskill and see how they also are able to make decisions in this area. And so also even network managers like me, that everything you want to do, you think it depends on. Now AI is also bringing a lot into it, and we have to utilize the tools and still be like kind of co-pilot, you say? We co-pilot chat. So I think that's what I have to say on this. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I like the fact that you mentioned that there is need for us to embrace learning and for us to adapt. And still on that, adapting to this rapid technological change, my question will go to Remy. And Remy, the question I have for you is that as women leaders that wants to stay ahead of these emerging trends in AI, just like I mentioned, the emerging trends, and then Tinoade also pointed, throwing some light into it. And then on AI and cybersecurity, one of the things she mentioned is that we have to learn, but what are the practices we need that must help us to ensure that we have that continuous learning and adaptability, we are maintaining it? Um, I don't know if you can quickly just throw some light on that for those practices we need to ensure that continuous learning and adaptability is maintained while we are staying ahead of these emerging trends in AI and cybersecurity.
Okay, thank you, Jumoke. And I'll say a few, maybe two or three things that has worked for me. All right. One is just be voracious. And when what do we call, I can't remember the name of this animal now, but they are voracious animals, meaning they consume a lot.
Mm.
Be ready to just consume all the knowledge. Honestly, right? We might say, my male counterparts are the ones getting the jobs, they are the ones being promoted, they are the ones being given, called upon on different projects, right? Learn, pick. I wrote on LinkedIn, I think on Saturday or thereabouts, and I said one of the statements, one of my learnings in recent times is you don't need to be a know-it-all, but at least be a learn-it-all. They are talking about AI today. Tomorrow is cybersecurity. Next tomorrow is something else. And I remember when I was trying to study for a particular certification, that colleague of mine who has turned out to be a friend today, she's not on this call. And I was studying to just acquire knowledge on the AI 900 certification. That's just the fundamentals of AI. And at some point, I was trying to practicalize what was being taught. I was keying in the data, it wasn't just gelling, right? It wasn't gelling. You won't believe what I did. I studied back in the office, but when I was going home, instead of me to go straight to my house, I went straight to her house. I didn't leave her house until maybe past 10 because I needed, and she's an expert in this. Her name is Mary Colady. She's an expert in data and AI. And I'm like, babe, I need to know this thing. I need to know it. I'm not an engineer. I'm not an architect. I'm not an AI architect. But the little knowledge I need to know to propel me forward, all right, or to give me an edge in this AI game, I need to get it. All right. So go all out, whatever it's going to cost you, right, to get the knowledge, go for it. Read, be voracious about it, just consume. I'm not saying you should consume, don't consume mess, don't consume rubbish, but you know the platforms where the right information, join networks, join professional organizations, societies or communities. I know you guys run Textiler, there's Wentors, there's, I saw Joy on this call. I know she
Yeah.
heads the security female. I see her everywhere on LinkedIn and all of that. Follow who knows the road. Let me put it that way. Don't walk blindly. If you are going to get those roles, if you are going to, if you are going to be up there, right, you need to, you need to get the knowledge, and you don't get the knowledge in isolation. All right. You don't restrict yourself to one particular place and say, it's only this. No, I can only do it in this particular direction or in this particular format. Look out for people, look out for mentors, look out for people that can help you. Don't be silent. I think I wrote on LinkedIn as well, on that same post. I said, asking questions, asking people for help doesn't mean you're weak. It's not a sign of weakness. It's just that it's telling you that, I need to know these things, right? It's a strength. So people might look down on you when you're asking them those questions, or when you're staying up late to get that knowledge. But please go after it. Learn what needs to be done. Understand the ongoing trends. All right. Read research papers. Read whatever it is. Sometimes I stay up late. Not because I'm not tired, but I just want to know what is happening around me. All right. And with that knowledge, I'm able to plan and do whatever it is I want to do. It adds intelligence to the work I do as well. Anyway, when the CBN or when the government change their policies, I'm able to relate it back to how this stuff, right, affect the business that I drive, right, locally, right? So get the knowledge, write certification exams that are relevant to this. I'm not asking you to go and write FOII, I don't know these certifications but even if it's just the fundamentals, like I do, please go after it. All right. Yeah. And so that when the opportunities come, you are not running around. They meet you prepared. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. Opportunity meets readiness. And then I love the fact that you touch on mentorship. Thank you so much. And touching on that mentorship takes me now to the next question, which is to FOI, because I know FOI is big on mentorship and community. So FOI, my question to you is, how has mentorship, both given and received, influenced your success in navigating the complex intersection of AI, data, and security? I don't know if Oyin is still there. Hello. I think we lost her. All right, so let's move on. I don't think Oyin is there. I think we just lost her. All right, so I'm still on mentorship and growth, but this time on mentorship and growth. So my next question is to Madam Laide. So the question I want to ask you is that, because I know I'm a product and I'm a proud mentee of you, so I know I'm a product of your own mentorship also. So I'll say that, what strategies would you recommend for mentoring the next generation of women in tech, particularly in AI, data science, and security fields?
Okay. For me, to close the gender gap in AI, data secure science, and cybersecurity, we need to focus on the mentorship strategies that provide access, skill development, and also leadership opportunities. Women entering these fields often face barriers such as limited representation, lack of role models, and unconscious bias. Effective mentorship that can help bridge these gaps. For me, a structured mentorship program, like a one-on-one mentorship by pairing experienced women in tech with young professionals and students, to provide career guidance, technical training, and also a leadership advice. Then second, I would advise is on reverse mentorship. Senior leaders should engage with younger mentees to understand emerging trends and the unique challenges young women faces in AI and security fields. Why I say that is because, in our days, we had different challenges, totally different from what they have now. The kind of exposures that they have now is not what we had in our days. In our days, we're more afraid, we are afraid of the unknown. We don't even take certain decisions. And in those days, you do not have access to internet until you go to a cyber cafe, in those days. But nowadays, they have everything on their fingertips, They have access to all these things. And, so they face different challenges. So we need to learn from them, to understand. For us to be able to mentor them, we need to understand their level, understand the particular challenges that they are facing currently, because it is different from what we face. So we need to understand from that perspective for us to be able to help them, and then, mentor them by explaining some of the things they should avoid. But if you do not know where they are coming from, there is no way you can show them a way, you know. Then, as an organization, we are engaging with educational institutions to introduce AI, data science, and cybersecurity concepts to girls early in their education. Also to offer internship programs to girls that are interested in IT. Then I'll also talk about the skill development and, continuous learning that is, I know Remy mentioned something like that, technical training, certification, encouraging mentees to earn industry recognized certifications in AI, machine learning, cybersecurity, and data analytics. We put them at the forefront because they are ready, for the opportunity when it comes. Then soft skill development by providing, training in communication, critical thinking, leadership, time management, negotiation would help women advance into leadership roles. Because, you can have a technical skill, but there are other administrative and soft skills that are necessary for you to be able to function properly in a leadership role. So, which are necessary for women to also have. So to me, mentorship is not just about guidance, it's about access, about empowerment, about creating opportunities for others, by investing in a structured mentorship, technical training, and leadership development. So we can accelerate action as the IWD theme in building the next generation of women in AI and security roles by allowing them to have an inclusive digital future. So that's what I would advise.
Absolutely on point, ma. Thank you so much. I love all of the advice you've put forward and a lot of the points that you've put forward around mentorship. Particularly, I like the word the reverse mentorship. And then oftentimes, really, I think sometimes even when we want to meet these girls or we want to meet these women that want to transition into 10, we do not meet them at their level sometimes. Our background is different, and then we're coming with that background, those. And when you said, our time, it sounded like it's not like Stone Age anyway, but the times are different, and then meeting those people at their very need, relating to them in the way that we understand is actually very critical. And I love that part that it is also important that we also do some form of reverse mentorship. We're also learning from them while they're learning from us. Thank you so much for that. And then Foyi, I hope we have Foyi back in the house. Yeah. Foyi, are you there? Oh. Okay, I think we do not have yeah. Foyi, are you there? Okay, all right. I think so. I'll move on to Remy. And this is on the future of AI and security, really. So looking ahead, Remy, what opportunities do you see for women leaders to shape the evolving landscape of AI and cybersecurity? What are the strategic actions we should take to prepare for those changes that are coming? I mean, last year, just in 3 months ago, we heard the word agentic AI, and a lot has come. And even as we heard the word agentic AI, I can tell you how many changes has come to AI. ChatGPT has been, before you know it, DeepSeek, before you know it, China has brought its own and all of that. So you see that AI is evolving, and cybersecurity also have to keep up to date with the evolving nature of AI, because you cannot exclude a cybersecurity from AI. The way it is that data is at the center of it all. Whether you're considering here, you're considering cybersecurity. So at a point, those intersection, you're looking at what are the opportunities that we as women leaders all should shape the evolving landscape of AI and cybersecurity? What are the actions that we need to take to be prepared for those changes that are coming, for those future changes?
I would not just so I don't sound as though I don't want to answer your question, because I was going to refer you back to everything Olaide had said, right from the first question So the second question she answered, and then this last one. I mean, because with herself being in a leadership position and the kind of policies that our organization has put into place, it's very, very clear. And when she was speaking, it was as though she was spying into, it's not good. You can't tell an adult that, ma, looks like you spied into my notes. But yeah, because everything she had said, right, and even some of the actions they've put into place in the organization where she leads are the things that we need to do. You need women in the position of leadership to
Mm,
advocate for these upcoming people, right? How do you advocate for a younger woman or a girl, for example, right? If you as a leader, whether as a leader in your place of work or even in the home where you are, right? The girls around you, your daughters, your nieces, right? Remember, it's not just at the place of work you are being a leader. You're a leader of yourself. You're a leader everywhere you are, right? But then, how do you advocate for people coming after you, right? So for leaders, it's for me, it's them protruding that particular quality, advocating for other women, setting in place policies. When she was talking about, I think it was herself or Tinuade that was talking about the hiring process.
mm,
And I remember when I came on this program sometimes last year, and I was speaking, giving an example of an organization who wants to put out an advert for a particular role or for a particular position. How do you ensure that when you're sending out those job, what do they call them again?
job description.
Description. Thank you so much. How does AI
Now I look
help
for
you
people.
sieve out those words that makes it just regimented for a particular gender, right? And then makes
Mm,
it open and diverse enough for
mm,
everyone to come in and compete at a very reasonable level, right? So she had mentioned that networking, joining, I can't stop saying this thing. Read, please.
mhm,
Please, I'm begging. Get all the
mhm,
knowledge that is required. You mentioned it at the beginning of the call, and I think Foyi and Tinuade also mentioned the same thing. AI is very disruptive. If we don't disrupt ourselves now, right?
mm,
We pray there won't be disruption in the nearest future. But then, for us not to be disrupted, we need to disrupt ourselves, and we can't disrupt ourselves if we don't even have the knowledge of what those changes are. So learn as much as possible, develop yourself as much as possible. See yourself not just, titles are very good, they're beautiful, they describe people very nicely, but you're a leader of your own. You lead
mm,
yourself, right? So what are those things that you're doing in your own little space to lead yourself to that next level that you're going to, and also to lead those that are coming behind you? People are watching you.
mm,
They are watching you, right? Learn, network with people. Um, you kept on praising Madam. She's not my manager, but when you look at people from afar, when what do they call that farming? When someone is your,
mentors, role
you
model, role
you've not
model.
signed them, you've not signed up a mentor mentee agreement with them, but you are just looking at them stylishly. They do this, you do it stylishly, but they don't know that you're mentoring them. All right. So you might not have people that that you've gone up to say, please mentor me, ma. But then you're looking at them from afar. All right, you're seeing what they're doing, and
Mhm,
then you're imbibing those characters, you're imbibing those learnings to improve on yourself, right? You're
absolutely.
creating more. Remember, you're not creating an avenue just for yourself to grow. Okay, you can't even grow. You need to outgrow the space you are in currently. All
Mm,
right, and when you outgrow the space you are in currently, some other people are going to come into that particular position while you move up the ladder. Okay, but for that to take place in that current position where you are right now, you need to be competent enough for people to even see that, okay, oh, I think it's ready, it's time for this person to move up. all right? And then you are thereby creating room for other people, other female. The statement is being made, you can do it. I mean, if this girl could do it, if this woman could do it, then you can also do it. Chinuade wasn't giving excuses. She told her father she needed to wear trousers and go under the table to lay the cables, all right? Any other lady that comes after her, there is the possibility. This is not been done. No, they don't, ladies don't do it. No, it's been done, all right?
Mm,
And people can
mm.
do it, all right? Pave the way for those coming behind you, all right? And then, make that playing field, make it very wide, all right? When you break the ceiling, when you shatter the ceilings, like they said, women are shattering the ceiling. You are going up, right? Keep the door open behind you. Don't let it be closed, all right? Let there be avenues for people, other people to come in, and for the leadership, for those that are looking at you to believe that it's possible for a woman to do it. I'm not a feminist. I'm just for equality. Okay, I'm for
Exactly.
equality, and but for that equality has to be tested, it has to be trusted, right? People can't argue success, they can't argue excellence. It's very, very clear, right? Yeah. So thank you, Madam Olaide, for answering the question on my behalf.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Remy. Thank you for that. And then to you, Ade. I know Remy has said that, yes. So and this is, and I know some men are in this call. Are on this call with us, which we really really appreciate. Some of our male counterparts are here. We really appreciate you. And then the fact that we talk about the International Women's Day, we talk about empowering the women. It's not a question of, oh, we are striving for equality. We're striving to say, oh, everybody. We want an environment that is inclusive, that is also just like, let me use the word, tested, solid, for women to be able to thrive as much as possible. Because if we have such environments, we know that we can excel. And believe me, one of the things that I appreciate, even when I started my IT journey, is the fact that women are quite very thorough and they're quite very detailed. When I said, well, even up to today, when I send team out for deployment and we look at maybe the extra effort a woman will go into saying, okay, ensure that this doesn't come up. They would have looked at those loose ends and all of that. So it's not like probably maybe we don't say some of our guys don't do that. Of course they do it. But one of the things that we just wanted to see is that giving that opportunity for women more, that they can be able to um excel greatly where they are. And I know a lot of people have questioned me on that. I have someone a lot that puts me on the spot on that. And then one of the things they keep telling me is that if you put if you put 10 people in the room, and then you'll find out that even if you give 7 women the opportunity in that room and 3 men, and when you finish, it is the men that will come back that will stop the women from coming up. Sometimes that argument may be true, and then that argument may not. But what is important is that, just like how Tinuade started with our conversation, it's not a matter of saying that we are looking for to be equal and all of that, but we look for equity. We want a diverse and inclusive team that can work. So, Tinuade, this goes to you actually, based on your first conversation around being diverse and inclusive. What ways do you think a diverse and inclusive team can enhance the development and deployment of AI solutions in an organization? So you look, for example, this is not saying that this is just women alone, but we're looking for a diverse and inclusive team to be able to carry all of this out. What ways do you think we can achieve this?
Yeah, thank you so much for that. I think every organization, especially in this age and time, we do themselves, or how do I say, we take the organization to that next level of impact when we all embrace diversity, not because we want to tick compliance sheet. Because I think that's one of the issues happening. So you see businesses say, oh, because we want to show that we are compliant, you still bring in diverse teams, but you don't give them the opportunity to be involved, to be, to make decisions, to bring what they have to the table. There are two different things. You can have 5 women, 5 men on a team. But what do you allow those 5 women to do is something, and I'll come to it. This is one of the things that drove me, even as a young intern. When I got into the technology world, I saw female managers, but they were in HR, marketing, sales. And there was one woman that was the head of field engineers. But I tell you, and I kid you not, I see this every other time. And I told myself, this is going to change about you. Or Tinu, you're going to change this story about yourself. Because she was the manager alongside these other male contemporaries. But every other time, it's like she's taking decisions. Before she makes decisions, it's like she's consulting them before she takes that decision, because it has gotten to that level that maybe is I'm not enough, or she feels she doesn't want to make mistakes. So let's not get it wrong that, oh, bringing in women equal to men. No, is making their voice count. They are able to also contribute without fear of making mistakes or being laughed about. Do you know even some organizations now that bring women, when women make mistakes, the men will say, oh, gender equality. Do you understand? And when you pass such comments, you're already, demoralizing the whole, or you are bringing to null the whole essence of this. So bringing diverse teams or people together on a team is giving them that opportunity to also be able to talk. Oh, this is how I think this should go. This is how I think we should design this. This is how I think, or these are the timings we should look out for. This is what our go-to-market period should be. This is the kind of solution that will meet this area based on where I am coming from. And not until then, we might not be able to get the full or that wealth that comes with having like an inclusive or a diverse team. So it is more beyond that ticking of paper, like, oh, we are diverse, we are compliant. We need to give that sense of belonging so that a woman knows that I'm on this thing, I'm not afraid. Let me tell you, when I started as an intern, I supposedly, because that's what they made me believe, that I damaged the laptop. And I locked myself up in the toilet and I was crying because I wasn't even seeing no people that looked like me. And now it's like, hey, you have come, you spoil laptop. Do you understand? But when that environment gives you that room, that that if you fail, it's just you learning, becoming better, and you can easily just talk it to. Thank God for my boss then. And he's like, where's Tino? And I just opened up to him, and he teased me and said, do you know how many more laptops you will still damage? Come on, just go and sit. You must fix this one that you have damaged. And eventually, it wasn't even a damage. It's because I saw a blue screen error or that blue, And at the end of the day, we just did the repair of the OS and everything came back together. What I'm trying to say is that, and I like what Madam Olaide also said. Mentorship in the workplace, we underestimate it a lot. And it's not just mentorship again because we want to tick these papers. Is access. When a young lady sees another older woman or another woman entirely doing something, there is this psychic thing it forms. Oh, this person looks like me, and this person is audacious. This person can do this thing. I can do it. Let me give you a quick example, and that will be it for this. I'm saying I was at an event, and director of then West Africa Google, Madam Juliet, was in that session, and she told us a story that she went to a place, and after talking everything, as they were seeing her off, like thanking her, a young lady from that gathering ran to her. I think she's in secondary school. That's the young lady. Ran to her and said, thank you so much, man. I never knew a woman was leading Google West Africa. Do you know what that statement means? That young girl is seeing herself now like, I can take the MD's job in Google later. I can take the CEO's job. Because now a woman can actually do this the way we see Google. But a woman is at the forefront leading the affairs. So, representation does a lot, and that is how. And imagine when you look at core technical, for instance, there is no woman on that team. The other women coming are just feeling like, oh, I'm just here as another number. Head count and part of it, not seeing themselves as being part of what matters, or whatever I say is also going to change the bottom line of what our profit is like, or what our business is going to be, to impact people. So we need to go beyond just sticking of lines. Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Tunade. Phone search is back. When are you there? And this is the last question for the day. I know that we are 5
I believe
minutes.
so.
All right.
We miss you, Foyin. Good to
Yes,
have
we
you
I
back.
missed
know.
you.
My
Yeah, so
system
I'm
is
going to
tired.
combine. Yeah, I'm going to combine two questions for you, really. So, first, I said that you are someone that I know is big on mentorship and security. I mean, community, sorry. And then tell me the mentorship you have, the ones that you have given and the ones you have received, how has it influenced your success as a woman in IT, in this complex, how will I put it, complex community or complex ecosystem of tech? Then finally, please tell us, what skills and competency do you believe that women in tech can have to excel in the field of AI and even cybersecurity?
All right. So I think I joined in briefly and I heard a bit of Madam Laide's thoughts around mentorship. So I won't dwell on the parts that she has covered, like the reverse mentorship or something I wanted to touch on as well, the importance of it. I'm not sure if she spoke about peer-to-peer mentoring, but I would say that peer-to-peer mentoring has been a tremendous help for me as well as technology keeps evolving. There are a lot of times where I'm speaking to MG, I'm saying, MG, and I didn't know this thing has changed. And she's like, just changed 1 year ago. How come you didn't hear about it? Let me show you. And I'm learning from her. And then also like Joy as well, in terms of security part of it, when I'm brainstorming something, I can just jump on a call with her and we can brainstorm together. So it's important to have people that are your peers that you can brainstorm with to say, oh, this is kind of what I'm looking at. What I would like you to cast another eye on this. Can you tell me what perspective you're looking at? I mean, is this sounding well? Is there something I'm missing in this? So that peer-to-peer mentorship has helped me tremendously. Now, in terms of mentorship in its real sense, where you have someone helping and supporting you, I've kind of benefited from that greatly across my career. And mentorship, like mostly my mentors were my sponsors. They were people that kind of just decided, for you, look, I want to help you to be successful without necessarily saying that. But they were kind of looking out for opportunities for me and also helping as well to sense check my work, double check it, give feedback, give updates, give constructive feedback. So I think what we need to do in order to continue to remain relevant in this whole journey of AI and cybersecurity and security and data and all these technology buzzwords is you need to have mentors in these three pillars. You need to have the mentors that are above you that can give you constructive feedback. Now, a lot of us don't like feedback. We take feedback personally, right? It's not personal. So we need to mature emotionally as professionals. The feedback is nothing personal. It's feedback. So take it. It's not a time to be saying, but I did this and I did that, but it wasn't my fault. But blame this person. No, hear the perspective of the mentor, because for a mentor to give you feedback, there's a certain level of commitment that that person has to your success. If the person didn't
Mm,
care about you, the
mm,
person won't bother to give any feedback.
mm.
So
So
if you
true.
have the, I'll call it the privilege of getting constructive feedback, please hug it and really take it in and then go back and digest it to say, okay, based on this feedback, what are the things I need to work on, I need to improve on? Because that's the only way you can move from point A to point B. And that's one of the things that has helped me. Constructive feedback. Initially, as well, I was very emotional about feedback. I used to take feedback personally, but as I continued to grow in my career, I discovered that it's not a personal attack, it's just feedback. And like, it's not about you. So just remove yourself from it. It's about the work. And this is the feedback, and it will help you get better. So have those kind of mentors around you. Then have your peers as well. Have friends in the tech space in different aspects of your um there's different aspects that you don't have strengths in, but you want to scale into, so that you have those people that, and then aspects that you also have strengths in, so you can have people that you can rub minds with. And that's one of the benefits of being part of a community, because being when you're part of a community, you have people who are skilled in that area that are not necessarily your colleagues at work, and you can kind of be 100% vulnerable to them as well. So say, man, I'm struggling with this thing, or I've been sweating, come and help me, cast your eyes on this code, I'm missing something here. So have those kind of, and then also have people who you do reverse mentorship with, depending on where you are in your career journey, that can say, how can you be, working like this? You need to, they're always so, all of this. Our younger colleagues, they are so vast in different tools, and they have their ways of working in a smart way. They don't, that working hard and spending tiresome hours on stuff. No, 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 no. Why don't you do it this way? So they always have this very intelligent perspective to handling problems. So be open as well to their own ways and approaches of solving problems. So that's kind of my quick summary around mentorship. And what skills do you need? AI is here. It's going to take away all the repetitive things. So what do we need to do? We need to start to understand how to be more strategic, right? So how do you build your strategic muscles? How do you start to think about a problem that doesn't even exist yet? You're looking at the bigger picture. So I always say to the people I mentor, what makes the difference between you're in middle management and person in senior management is one of the things is the big picture. So you're just saying, oh, this is the task, I want to get it done, and that's it. No, you need to think outside of that immediate task that you're giving, to say, this task that I'm giving, how does it solve the bigger picture? Or can you please tell me more about the bigger picture? And you can ask the questions. I want to know, oh, MJ, can you tell me more about what the whole problem is, and how this single power apps application and building is helping to solve it? And then when you start to take a step back to look at the big picture, then you start to understand a bit more, and then you can start thinking along the strategic line. So you're pulling yourself out of tactical things into strategic things as well. And it takes time, right? And it's okay, because we all started with the tactical things where we are engineers building solutions, like Tino Ade said, going on at the table, plugging cables. But by virtue of having mentors and rubbing minds with people ahead of us, we're able to start to pull ourselves out of those tactical activities into more strategic things. So I think that's really going to be a key differentiator, as we move into this AI journey. And then there's a lot of information out there. So thought leadership is also important in terms of, oh, I've read this, I've read 5 or 6 articles, and this is my perspective about this thing that we're working on. So people want to hear what's your thoughts about it based on your experience. So it's not just, oh, I went to ChatGPT, I got this answer, and this is it. No, but experience starts to play in it, to say, okay, you have this answer, but how does that apply to me? It's not copy and paste. My situation is unique. So you can now say, okay, I've read different situations that are similar to yours in the industry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and coming back home to you, understanding where you are at the moment. This is what I think you should be doing. So those kind of skill sets, along with the other ones that have already been touched on, I think will be more important as all of these repetitive tasks starts to go automated. That's what would now differentiate you from every other person. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Simi. I don't even remember that time is going. I just kept listening on, listening on. Thank you so much for that, and then for really, really capping it up, or and then giving us this very, very valuable advice. Thank you so much. And I think we have a question but if there's anyone that has a question, please, we'll be able to take one or two with a raise of hand. But then Sunday, I think I have unmuted you if you want to speak to your question yourself, but I'll just do well to read it out. And that question is, are there possibility that AI can drive us into complacency? So I see it putting Nadia at edge. So if you want to take that first. I know that I have Joy on this call also. Joy, please, if you want to contribute to it, I will mute you also. So
I'm
what
nodding
do you
because
say?
it's a valid
Yeah.
question. Sorry to cut across. It's a valid question.
Yeah.
I'm not nodding because I want to answer, but it's a valid question that I know that probably a lot of us are asking ourselves to say, this AI, it's not making us to do any work at all. Oh. I don't know. Maybe Remy will help us since, she's in the mothership.
Okay, so I want to go to, all right, for you, I used to say something.
No, I just think, I just want to say that it's a valid question. And there will be, it depends on, so my perspective is, it depends on the individual, right? There will be some people that AI would drive to complacency where they literally don't want to do anything other than copy and paste, But back to my point on thought leadership, where yes, you have gone to the AI tool, it has given the answer. But how is that unique to your client or your customer or your like, how do you bring it home? That's the question. So, and that's where the value is, and that's where the hard work is, because you then need to think outside the box to say, okay, AI is giving me this answer, but my customer has this problem. It's not a one-to-one situation. So what am I going to do? How am I going to fine-tune this? So there's going to be a lot of work, not in the default answers, but in bringing the uniqueness of the solution. So then you have to think a lot on how you're going to fine-tune, and that's where the hard work is. So for people that don't want to do the hard work, they'll just do the copy and paste. But at the end of the day, your customers, your clients, your end users, your team members, your managers, everybody is using the same tool. So when you go and do copy and paste, they will know. There's some emails that people send to me. I'll say, God, this thing is Copilot's written. Like, why didn't you even bother to edit it? And this, like, someone sent a personal mail to thank the team members. Like, you're thanking your team members for the efforts done in a year. Now, this is in one of my past lives. Why would you just go to and just generate something and just send? At least put small, put small of you into it. To get like when you did this and when you did that, so that when the people read it, they will not even feel like you just went and did 2 seconds. They will see the effort that you put into it to generate the email. Okay, I hope I'm not making anybody guilty on the call. But so to answer the complexity question, the answer is yes for some people that don't want to do the work. But what will now stand you out is your ability to do the hard work of the thinking that the AI is not going to do for you. AI is your virtual assistant. It's just give you all the. I went to the internet, so this is what I got. So what do you want to do with what the AI has given you? That's now on you. So that's my perspective about it.
Absolutely right. Okay. All right. Okay. So I will just buttress a little bit on what Emponya said. And I think I was having a conversation with someone today, and I said that, asking AI or anything for ideas is not really bad, but buttressing on what Queen has said, is that part of your experience infused into what you have gotten that matters. And then that becomes now part of you. It's like you going to Google. When you go into Google to ask a question, or the only thing now is that AI brings it faster than you. ChatGPT brings it more faster than when you go to Google, because it's more narrowed now to it. So instead of you sourcing for so many things on Google and you bring together about ChatGPT, what most is important is that how you infuse your experience and your own perspective, so it doesn't look like AI is what is dictating for you. And then it takes me also to the fact that when we talk about AI obesity, obesity is also comes from overconsumption of food. So think about that also from the angle of AI. When you come to AI obesity, where you have over reliance on AI, you want to rely so much on AI, and that is that place that can drive you to a place of complacency where you feel that everything you have to reach out for AI, and then that derails in a way critical thinking. So one of the things that you will want to see as much as possible, I used to tell people, is that AI in its own is not bad, as people will say and say, oh, probably maybe it makes you lazy, makes you all of that. But it's the way we use it that will become the problem. If you use it to your advantage, where it supplements or complements you, then you are still in charge. But when it becomes something that is the one driving you, I mean, every now and then you go, so even you cannot think on your own, then it becomes a problem. And that's one of the things I used to tell. I was buying something with someone the other day, and then the calculation, as they're doing calculation, before she can punch her phone to calculate, I've told her the cost, and then she's now checking it up on her phone. I said, you know what? One of the things why I was growing up, I never wanted to use calculator, because I wanted to still use my brain to see how fast my brain is in calculating things. So it is very important for you to see it from that angle, and then you can actually continue to use AI, and then it solves the problem for you, but you are still in charge. That's one. So there's another question that says, what will 10 years look like in the workplace? AI would have matured and many rules would have been obsolete by then. Small common sense. So where is the place of intellectual property when AI takes your ideas without referencing? Now, I want to throw this question to, yes, Tinade is already bringing up, and I think this question is from Ellie. Where is the place of intellectual property where AI takes your idea without referencing? But I want your thoughts
I'm
on
so
it.
sorry, because that raise of hand, I needed to say this. Did you see the recent video or picture where they are doing graduation and they show ChatGPT as one of the graduates? I just thought to mention that, because every of the students, they need to recognize ChatGPT. So that's what I wanted to say. I don't know if somebody else wanted to answer on intellectual property, because even in doing some of these things, something struck me lately. I was just doing a video in a public place, and I'm always careful. Maybe the target is what I want to record or take the picture, and maybe somebody's head comes into the frame, and I'm asking myself, for crying out loud, you go and post this picture. You don't even know if this guy had said he's in Togo, and you are saying you are in Nigeria, and they are seeing his face. You put, and do you understand what I'm trying to say? So honestly, there's a lot on intellectual property with AI too, and that's not what I wanted to answer. I wanted to tell you that ChatGPT will start attending graduation, and they've shown one. So maybe somebody else should put that question.
Oh my God. All right, thank you so much. Remy or anyone, is there any other? I know we've spoken, I mean, I've denied you some things today. I apologize. But is there any thoughts? So to close out on what is the place of intellectual property when AI takes your idea without referencing? I think that's the part of the plagiarism that a lot of times that we get to hear about, and how you can overcome plagiarism also. And if you're a student today, one of the things you have to do is also to ensure that whatever you put, you have to reference it. And I think it is on us, I mean, it is actually on us to ensure that whatever we get from ChatGPT, we have to verify that it is not something, one, that it is true. And even if it is true, ensure that it is not, that you're not referencing someone else's intellectual property, your IP. You are actually giving credit to them, even if it is their own IP that ChatGPT is giving you. I think that's from that angle is what I'm going to say. So thank you all for this long talk, I know, but I'll just say one word from each of you. What is that one word you're giving to that girl, child, or to that woman that is trying to go into tech, and then just one word that you will just give to, one message, just one word. I mean, if you like, you can make it 2 words, but just I'll start with you, Ade. Just one word for that girl child or that woman that wants to go into IT.
Okay, there is a lot of space for you. You will only do yourself a disservice if you think, oh, there is no space because of what people have said, because of what people are saying, because of what people will still say. Look at it like a puzzle. You have different pieces. It needs the head part, the leg part, the right, the leg. If you're missing, the head will not form. So we want the head to form. Please join. Thank you. There's space for you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Remy. Over to you, Remy.
Y'all just go for it. You
All
can
right.
do it. Just go for it.
That's good. Just go for it. You can do it. Then Manalaide, please, what is that word you want to tell us?
I would say there is room for more. There is space, and also carve your niche, create your space, and make your
Exactly.
impact.
Yes. Carve your niche, make your space, and then create your own impact. Thank you, Ma. And then lastly, Foyi, what do we tell that girl child?
Yeah, yeah. I would say to him that believeth all things are possible. And I would also say never assume no without asking. Always ask. I always ask. And 90% of the time I get a yes. So never assume no without asking. Ask for the raise, ask for the promo, ask for the conversation, ask for the mentorship. Ask.
And I tell you, Foyi is big on asking. She has for 5 minutes. 5 minutes we talk to for 5 minutes. Trust me on that. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. I really do appreciate every one of us joining again this time to have this conversation. It's been very insightful. It's been very, very educating, and at the same time, very informative. Thank you. Never stop asking. Never take a no until you have asked. Ensure that you create your own niche, go for it, and at the same time, we need you as part of those puzzles to complete it. Believe in yourself. Thank you all, and then God bless. We see you another time next month on this same C-suit in corner with MJ. I appreciate you all. Have a very, very nice good night. No, this is not Friday, so have a good night rest. Bye, everyone.
MJ, you don't know where I'm joining from. If it's midnight already, you say have a good night. Yes. It might be good morning for me. Yeah. Ha. Though I'm
All
calling you
right.
from Lagos, but it's still, I'm just saying.
All right. Good morning.
Okay. Bye,
Good
everyone.
night.
For
Good
good to
morning.
see you again. Bye.
This is
Yeah.
always a
Yeah.
pleasure. Bye bye,
Thank
ma.
you. Thank you, Lady Franca. Thanks
Bye,
to
everyone.
everyone. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Veronica. Thank you, Lara. Bye, everyone.